How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia, where we are with Sachi, and we've had a very lovely time, now that we've blown up the school. But most importantly, now that we've seen Sachi kind of being herself. She's dressing the way she wants to, she's expressing jealousy, which is cool because, again, it's one of those things that we didn't see before. It was almost bothersome to see how she could just be like, whatever, but now she's like, no, I feel like this, and I want this to be recognized. And yeah, so we're clearly not quite done with everything, apparently. I don't know, it feels like we're done. Like, I'm sure there's more. Everyone keeps saying there's more, but like at the moment it still feels like we're just, I don't know, are we just in this happy phase? It's interesting, but I imagine something's gonna happen this episode. I keep feeling like, based on the way you're talking, like there's some big reveal coming up, and I'm like, so now I'm like second guessing everything, but I don't think I'm gonna worry too much about it. We're just gonna go in, we're gonna have fun. We've been here with Sachi, we've had some good experiences. I feel like their relationship is finally like, it's weird to say it's finally truly mutual, but it really is. Like, Sachi was so unsure of her own feelings and her own, I guess, the right she has to feel good and to feel like she can pursue her own interests. So it's beautiful to see her being so engaged and so happy with the state of things. And I think Yuji's happy too. It's good for him to have someone to fight for, to believe in. And so now, I guess that's what we're ultimately going to explore. I don't know, this game hasn't ever disappointed me, so, well, okay, maybe it hasn't in little ways, but not meaningful ways. We'll talk about that at the wrap party, where I'll talk about the flaws of the game. But I promise, there's far more good than bad in Fruit of Grisaia, by far. So don't get the idea that I hate the game. I just also understand and have opinions, and I don't think any game's perfect. I have criticism against my favorite games, like Muv-Luv and Seabed, and that's okay. It's good to be critical of the things you like, as long as you're not, being obtuse about it. And I apologize, you're probably gonna hear my cat. He's very upset for some reason. For instance, he's acting like I'm starving him. He's clearly been eating fine. He's just, for some reason, decided right now he must have his food. And I'm like, no, we'll stick to a schedule. And it's like, because of that, he's upset. So he's in the background, like, mewing. So he's probably going to do something during the video, because he's very spoiled. I've done my best not to spoil him, but he's spoiled. And so I have to kind of lay the law down with him sometimes, so he'll get his breakfast when his time comes, but it's not right now. Anyway, you don't care about my cat being crying. It's just, you might hear it, so I figured I'd say something. Anyway, let's jump right in. All right, Sachi, how you doing? Immediately after we made love, Sachi fell soundly asleep, but a little before midnight, she began to stir in my arms. Okay, yes, yeah, this is where the nightmares are probably kicking back in. What, up already? Apparently, a bit dazed, she blinks her eyes repeatedly in evident confusion. Hey, it's vigorous activity in, like, most cases, and in between you two, absolutely, so yeah. Yeah, day's practically over by now, though. You can just go back to sleep if you want. More or less. What about it? Oh, Sachi, you have, like, it's amazing how she has a, like, it feels way more scandalous the way she says it, even though it's probably much less scandalous than other girls have said it. I mean, it's like, how could the line delivery be so different, yet so charged at the same time? Good grief, Sachi. That you did. Up against a girl who was a virgin until just the other day, I went 3 rounds in a row without so much as a pause for rest. Been quite a while since the last time Mount Yuuji experienced such a monumental eruption. Oh gosh. Hi, YouTube. Oh my gosh. These are the episodes, especially when it's like we're 2 minutes in. barely started this episode, and this is what we're talking about. It's like, look, there's a lot more to this game than this. I promise. You really have gotten loot all of a sudden, Sachi. Oh my gosh. Smiling happily, Sachi cuddles up against my arm and hugs it tightly. Pure, straightforward affection is always a pleasant thing, but when it's coming from someone you care about in return, pretty much nothing else compares. Okay. What's that? Oh, okay. I mean, I'm sure that can be arranged.
The
expression on Sachi's face is placid, but something in the tone of her voice seems earnest, even pleading. I don't think she's just playing her slightly pushy girlfriend character right now. There's something else to this. For a moment, I hesitate to reply. Apparently, a little unnerved by the delay, Sachi looks up into my eyes and presses for an answer. It's such a characteristic little gesture that I can't help but smile reassuringly back at her. No, fine by me. Sharing a bed's easy enough. Again, it's like, I trust Yuji's instincts pretty well. He's a doofus in a lot of ways, but a lot of times when it comes to people, his subconscious is really tuned in. It makes sense with his background and the training he's received. He'd pick up on little inconsistencies very, very well, even if he couldn't explain why. So there's something odd there, probably, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's very sweet. We'd all love to have someone who just is very invested in wanting to do things together, to be together, to have physical closeness as well as emotional closeness. So I can't really see what the problem is here, but I trust that Yuji's detecting something's amiss. Smiling in relief, Sachi slowly closes her eyes and nestles up against me. Oh, you know what it could instantly be, though? It could just simply be that she sleeps more soundly when he's around. And so, for her, it's like, if the nightmares aren't happening when he's here, I mean, who wouldn't want that? And within seconds, I hear her breathing take on a quiet, regular rhythm. And I said this before, all my life I've struggled to fall asleep until the recent illness I had, where I was struggling with fatigue. And now that I've gotten better, like genuinely, I'm 100% better now. It's so great, so good that I'm throwing myself into new projects and work and everything. But the weird thing is that for my whole life, I've struggled to fall asleep. I've always had issues, even like especially in high school. It could take me an hour. I'd have to go to bed, and then I'd have to like go through a ritual essentially of trying to calm my mind down, and eventually would just fall asleep. Now I can be like Sachi, where I get myself comfortable, maybe put on like some calming music or white noise, and within minutes I could be gone. And it's one of the best things. It's weird because like it's weird to be great. Ah, jeez, stop clawing at me. He's so like he gets so clingy like this, and it's hard because like it's my time to record. He's deciding he's gonna make a nuisance of himself, and it scares me when he claws at my arm. So apologies. Anyway, it's really interesting that like I could be grateful for a life-altering and really debilitating illness, because when it finally went away, thankfully it did. There's some people who it hasn't gone away for, but it finally went away, and I kind of gained that. It all feels like a superpower, even though I'm sure it's fairly normal. But like being able to be like, I'm ready to fall asleep, and get comfortable, and be like, it's time to sleep, and then boom, I can be out in like seconds. It's so cool. Wait, are you already asleep? I tried poking your cheeks as a little experiment, but get nothing in the way of a reaction. Well, guess she did work pretty darn hard for my benefit today. In recognition of her gallant efforts, I suppose I can overlook this lapse in discipline for the time being. Get yourself some rest, Sachi. Mumbling a few pointless words to my snoring girlfriend, I reach out and gently brush a few loose strands of hair from her forehead. Uh-oh. Nightmare. Earlier the next morning, I snap awake at the sound of someone's breathing heavily a few inches from my ear. Sachi? I turn my head toward the irregular sound that roused me. Sachi's laying at my side, squirming in her sleep. It takes me a few seconds to remember that I agreed to share her bed last night. Sachi seems to be having some sort of nightmare. Her breathing's rough and ragged. From the look of things, I should probably wake her up immediately. Sachi, hey, Sachi! When I quietly call her name, Sachi opens her eyes just a sliver. You awake? Aww. That's a sight no one wants to see. Sad Sachi. But instead of responding to my voice, she just gazes vaguely over at me. Sachi? New, is it? I just gave her a considerate wake-up call, and now she expects me to play along with this cutesy sleepy head act? Some nerve. Seems I've been too lax on the girl lately. Time to reestablish a little discipline. Ha! What's all this then, head maid? You forgotten your morning duties? I think sleepy Sachi's so cute, Sachi. My cat's giving me a death glare. Stop! I told you, it's not time yet. He thinks he owns the house. I legitimately think that, I'm sure most cats are like this, but I think he legitimately thinks he's the king of the mountain and the house, and that his consideration for being a nice, cute, fluffy kitty is an act. And now he's upset. He's trying to he's trying to exercise his dominion. Her body quivering with surprise, Sachi reflexively reaches for my pants like a well-trained dog ordered to fetch a bone. I respond with an instant karate chop to the crown of her head. Meow. With a dopey little yelp, Sachi's sleepy fogged eyes snap fully open. You finally conscious?
Yu-kun.
Spare me your wah. If this was the NCO barracks, you'd be running 5 laps around the grounds by now.
すみません。寝起きということもあって、ぼーっとしていたみたいです。
I think that could be forgiven. You were tossing and turning in your sleep. Have a nightmare or something?
悪い夢。そうですね。私も夢くらいは見ますから。
Yeah. But we have the piercing, the benefit of the audience breaking barriers where we can kind of see into the minds of multiple characters. We know those dreams. We know what they are. True enough, her little groans weren't particularly dramatic. Might just have been a run-of-the-mill bad dream. I have to say, though, I'm a little surprised you're not a morning person.
いえ、私は本来寝起きがいい方ですから、今日が特別なんだと思います。
Okay. Oh? Why is today different?
それは、ゆうくんと一緒に眠るのが心地よすぎたことが原因。つまり、ゆうくんのせいということになりますね。
You got a very fun choice of words right there. Stop pushing the blame onto me every time you embarrass yourself, you cheeky little punk.
ということは、お仕置きでしょうか。
Oh my gosh. Walked right into that one. There's a vaguely expectant expression on Sachi's face as she delivers this line. Her newfound aggressiveness in this front reminds me pretty strongly of the pushy little kid she used to be, but at the moment, she's a little hard to celebrate. No, I think I'll pass. I don't dislike the whole Master of the Mansion roleplay, but I'm not enough of this less crazed monkey to start screwing first thing in the morning.
つまり、普段から禁欲を心がけることで、1年ぶりに再会する遠距離恋愛カップルのように燃え上がれる。そういうことですね。
I mean, no, but I feel like we all need to recharge a little bit. You just what do I even say to this? Sachi's always had a habit of clinging stubbornly to certain misconceptions, but the trend actually seems to be accelerating lately in some very weird ways. Is this my fault?
そういえば、せっかく一緒に朝を迎えられたことですし。
An attractive proposal, but I want to take care of my daily running first. Rolling out of bed, I proceed to straighten my appearance a little.
わかりました。そういうことでしたら、私も準備を手伝わせていただきます。
What do you... I'm dubious. What? Well, you don't really need to, but... Amane happens to be coming down the stairs from the second floor just as we leave the room. Our eyes meet. Are we just going to pretend this didn't happen? Instantaneously evaluating the approaching danger, I turn to my side and issue preemptive orders. Emergency situation, Sachi. Take her to custody.
Yeah!
Why? Sachi circles smoothly behind her target, binds her thumbs together with a bit of nylon cord, and pushes a knee sharply against the back of her right leg. Amane's forced to her knees, both arms effectively immobilized. Why are you so good at that? Truly graceful, confident movements. Reminds me of a well-trained professional operative at work. Seems like you've been keeping up with your daily training.
恐縮であります。ごめん。お取り込み中のところ悪いんだけど。
Why did this just happen?
聞いていい?
Very well. You have permission to speak.
どうして私はいきなり拘束されてるわけ？っていうか、なんで捕虜扱い?
There was a possibility you'd get some funny ideas about us leaving the room together and start squawking. I acted to neutralize the threat.
じゃあ、そういうことしてたの?
I'm not going to fall for your leading questions. I'm the one conducting the interrogation. Who sent you after us? Is this Machina's doing? Via asking the questions?
いや、誘導尋問っていうか、あんたたちが付き合ってるのは周知の事実だし。
Yeah, I'm not sure why is he's almost bashful here. It's weird. Normally he's just like super open about this type of stuff, but why now is he trying to be like, don't spread rumors?
朝早く同じ部屋から2人が出てきたとしても別に驚かないってば。
What? Really? Should have said so in the first place.
それを説明する前に拘束されたんですけど。
That's fair point.
手荒な真似をしてしまってすみません、天音さん。ああ、さっちゃんは謝らなくてもいいのよ。どうせユージがやらせたことなんだから。はい、今の私はユウくんの命令にだけ絶対服従です。
Alright, Sachi, I know you're new to this, but you should not just go with whatever we say, right? Right?
のろけるのは構わないんだけど、その前に拘束を解いてもらえる？そうでした。
Finally coming to her senses, Sachi retrieves a pair of scissors from goodness knows where and carefully snips the nylon cord binding Amane's fingers.
まさかこの国で捕虜になることがあるとは思わなかったわよ。
Yeah, and so effectively. But if you weren't shadowing us, why were you up and about this early?
ああ、今日は商店街で朝市が立つのよ。だからそのための早起きってわけ。
Early bird gets the produce. What? Just Is it economizing? Economizing your food costs. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, but I don't know what else I would say.
そうそう。朝市で売られる食材はいつも以上にお安くなるからさ。
Okay.
そういうことでしたら、マキちゃんのお世話は私に任せてください。ありがとう、さっちゃん。もしあの子が起きてきたら、用意しておいた朝ごはんを食べさせてくれればいいから。わかりました。では、そのように。それじゃあ私は行ってきます。
Bye. With an energetic pump of her fist, Amane bounds out of the dorm in pursuit of her bargains. Well, can't let Amane make us look bad. Let's get ready.
はい。
That afternoon, halfway through her routine laundry duty, Sachi begins to spread out pens and paper on the table. Getting some studying in while you wait?
いえ、今年の夏休みは帰省するタイミングがなかったので、おじさんたちに近況を知らせるお手紙を書こうと思いまして。
Interesting. I wonder how they're gonna react. I imagine they'll be pleased, but we don't know really anything about them other than the fact that they took her in and then became very concerned with her, mannerisms after she burned down the school. Right, now that you mention it, you were adopted by your dad's brother and his wife, weren't you?
はい、おじさん夫婦は昔から優しい人たちでしたし、私のことを引き取ってくれた後も本当の家族のように接してくれて。
Their own daughter, huh? When someone ends up adopting a niece or nephew, problems of neglect and abuse are sadly common. I honestly cannot fathom that. Genuinely cannot. It's like... maybe there's like the biological thing, like where we're probably programmed to recognize our own children to be like, oh, okay, like these are mine and thus I must care for them. But why adopt if you're not going to care for them like they're your own? Like, why go through it? I just don't understand how, like, it's like adoption is, even in the rougher situations, or sadly, it's usually better than the foster system, but at the same time, it's like, I just don't get the mindset that people can have where they can adopt somebody and then treat them terribly. It boggles my mind that you could go that far, like, out of your way to introduce a new child into your home, only to then treat them like a second-class family member. I don't know. It just doesn't compute in my head. I really don't get it. But from JB's information, Sachi's aunt and uncle were decent people who never managed to have a child of their own. I guess she was fortunate in that respect. In that case, I guess there's no reason to sugarcoat it. Might as well tell them how you're really feeling.
はい。学園に転入してきた男の子に、日々、女としての喜びを教え込まれている。そう書いておくことにします。
Can you please let them know that you wanted that and not make it sound like we're just taking advantage of you? Good thinking. Maybe they'll send you a celebratory box of condoms.
ドラッグストアに行く手間が省けますね。
Okay, this is a joke, right?
もちろんです。そんなことを書いてしまったら、おじさん得意の通信空手の出番になってしまうかもしれません。
I'm so happy that she's like, of course it's a joke. It's like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness, Sachi. That's like you being genuinely hilarious and also recognizing that you wouldn't want to say things certain way. That's so good for you. Holy crap. Huh. Well, I did more or less get the sense she was kidding around, but you can never be too careful with this one.
そんなに私の冗談は笑えませんか?
No, you say it with such perfect, like, straight face. It's like... And we've seen you be so ridiculous before that we have to make sure every time. That's not it. I'm more concerned with what you're writing about me.
それなら心配いりません。初恋の男の子と再会して幸せな毎日を送っていますと書きますから。
Oh my gosh, how can you be upset about that anyway? Your first love, huh? Yeah, it honestly feels a little awkward to hear that, but it's hardly unpleasant to know that she had feelings for me even back then. But while we're on the topic of Sachi's past, there's something that's been weighing on my mind for a while now. Specifically her mother. In a persistent vegetative state ever since the accident, she's still lying in that hospital bed. Sachi has been aware of that fact, but she's never shown any intention of paying a visit, or even mentioned her mother in the present tense. I can't help but wonder how Sachi feels about her parents now, what she thinks about the cold way they treated her before the accident. That's one part of the story that's still mostly a blank.
ゆうくんがそういう顔をしているときは、何か難しいことを考えているときです。
Can't run anything past this one. Okay, Sachi, mind if I ask you a serious question?
それは、私のお父さんとお母さんに関することですよね。
Gosh, she really is sharp. It's kind of scary, actually. She's really on the ball. It's a statement, not a question. Sachi's expression is suddenly very serious. Oh, so my voice cracked in there. Ugh, that did not sound great. That's right. On the day we destroyed the school, you said they abruptly turned cold. Did something happen between you and your parents back then?
何があったというよりは、逆に何もなかったのが問題だったんだと思います。
Nothing happened.
はい。私があの公園でゆうくんと出会うまでは、お父さんもお母さんもとても優しかったんです。でも、お父さんの実家の工房がテレビで取り上げられたことをきっかけに、私の家の仕事も急に忙しくなって、仕事の手を止めて私の話を聞いてくれたり、休日になれば一緒に遊んでくれるというようなこともなくなり、金型を作る機械の音が一日中鳴り響く家で一人ご飯を食べるということが多くなりました。そして二人が私の相手をしてくれないのは自分の頑張りが足りないせいだと考えて。
That makes sense that a kid would see it that way, but actually it does kind of, like, they clearly it seemed like they clearly cared, but had just lost the plot where they prioritized everything else so much. Like, it's one of those things I think actually does happen in the relationships closest to you. You genuinely have like a burning, passionate love in your heart, but the concerns around you feel so like pressing and temporary, even though they kind of perpetuate. They feel so much more like, oh, I gotta take care of this. I have to take care of this. I have to do this thing at work. I have to go and like fulfill this community obligation. I have to, keep my commitments to do things with like friends and be social, that you kind of end up pushing and deprioritizing like your closest loved ones, like your family, your significant other, all of that. And at the time it makes sense because you're like, well, they're always going to be there. I can always make sure I share that love. But then like that pushing off kind of just happens perpetually, and you just make a gap. I think all of us fall for that in one way or another. I think it's a big part of being in a relationship, is recognizing that just because somebody's there every day doesn't mean that you shouldn't be putting effort into making sure you're spending time together. Because there's a difference between like, okay, we talk every day and spend time around each other, and we spend time together. And that's something that all of us probably need to work on, and something I need to work on, something I should be much better at.
私は勉強も家の手伝いもそれまで以上に頑張りました。でも私がどんなに頑張っても二人の反応が変わることはなかった。そういうことです。
I see. From what I've just heard, it's easy enough to arrive at a reasonable conjecture. Sachi's parents were just too occupied with work to give her the attention she is craving. Their coldness was probably simple exhaustion. But I can still remember the way Sachi used to talk about them on the playground back then. It's not hard to imagine how hurt and unhappy she must have been. Even so, I remember you saying that you loved them very much just a few weeks ago. Are those your honest feelings? Sachi averts her eyes, clearly hesitant to answer. There's no doubt that this is a painful question for her. But Sachi's relationship with her parents was the root cause of all her suffering. Until she finds some sort of closure about this, I haven't saved her in any real sense.
二人が私のことをどう思っていたかはわかりません。でも私がお父さんとお母さんのことを好きだったという気持ちは変わりません。
That's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that, but she still talks about them in a past tense. I see. The words have the ring of truth. Right now, I think Sachi understands her own feelings with absolute clarity. In that case, maybe helping her escape the law she imposed on herself was enough. Maybe, in breaking free of that defensive shell, she's found something like normality again. Sorry for asking you an unpleasant question, Sachi.
ゆうくんが謝る必要なんてありません。ゆうくんは私に大切なことを気づかせるためにあれだけのことをしてくれました。
I almost want to know, what does she think she was missing? Like, from her perspective, what was it that she's... Because I wonder if it's in line with what we all feel. She simply was missing the realization that she could be herself and make her own choices, and that her rules were more of a detriment than a help in the long run.
ですから、ゆうくんには私のすべてを知っていてほしいんです。
Sachi's words and tone convey something very close to absolute trust. In response, I respond to her earnest feelings by reaching out and gently petting her head. Thanks, Sachi.
はい。
But if you're that sure of your feelings towards your parents, I guess there's nothing for me to worry about. Go ahead, tell your uncle that you're happy. Sounds like it's true.
ゆうくん。
When you're done writing that letter, let's go drop it off together.
はい。もう遅いから
Aww.
帰ってお
Happy Sachi's singing, Sachi. Her freshly completed letter in hand, Sachi trots along and step ahead of me. I've come to enjoy hearing this song, knowing that it means she's in a good mood. The gentle, flowing melody inspires relief and contentment. I guess even Michiru can be a valuable source of information every once in a while. Why the hate? Man, why?
そういえばゆうくんはこの先を少し行ったところに小さな公園があるのを知っていますか？
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I happened to pass by a little while ago on my way to work.
それは残念です。とっておきの情報でユウくんを驚かせようと思っていたのですが。
That's high quality intelligence in your book?
はい。公園は私とユウくんにとっては思い出の場所ですから。
I'm starting to get paranoid. He's like pacing around underneath my desk. I'm worried he's gonna try and turn the computer off. I feel like he's done that accidentally before. But like, part of me's wondering if he's gonna try that. Are you trying to sabotage me? I'm paranoid, aren't I? Good grief. But it'd be so cruel if my power got turned off right now and I lost all this and I had to redo it.
サチ、お前は本当にすごいやつだ。世界一、いや、宇宙一、お前のことを愛している。
Sachi, you really are something else. I love you more than anyone else on the earth. More than anyone else in the universe. As I parrot the corny line, I wrap my arms around Sachi and hug her tightly. Aww. I like how it's a corny line, but it's like she genuinely liked it. Hey, Sachi, you planning to say something here?
すみません。あまりの嬉しさに思わず呼吸が止まってしまっていました。
If there's anything about Sachi that I absolutely love, it's that she's just the pure incarnation of corny cheese, and it's the best. It's the best. I really wish I could interpret that as a joke. That said, it's kind of a relief that she enjoys hearing it. I'd been fully prepared for the possibility of something like, I was only joking, Yuku, and that's rather nauseating. Guess it was worth the gamble.
でも、私がユウくんを驚かせたり、何かの勝負で勝つというのは難しそうです。
Interesting. Why would you want to surprise and defeat me? You're overestimating me. I didn't beat you at extreme typos, did I?
そういえば、ブランコでどちらが高く上がれるか勝負も、連続逆上がり勝負も私の勝ちでした。
What? This is back when we were kids?
はい。あの頃のユウくんは、まだ可愛いという言葉が似合う感じでしたし、私も運動は得意な方でしたから。
So, okay, that makes sense. It's interesting that she holds those memories so dear, because, like, I'm pretty sure now he could destroy her with chin-ups. But, I mean, that is a military life for you. Not particularly happy about the cute thing, but sounds like we've played some pretty fierce games. You can't see, he's, like, pawing at me. It's, like, just below side of the camera. Like, I always wish you could see his little, like, paw kind of, like, going for my hand right there. It's funny.
正確には私が付き合わせたと言った方がいいかもしれませんけど。
True, I've got a pretty strong impression of you as a complete tomboy.
だから靴飛ばしも私が勝ったままなんです。
Shoe kicking?
いえ、なんでもありません。
If you say so. Seems like Sachi remembers those days pretty vividly. But unfortunately, my own memories from back then are still pretty indistinct. At this point, it strikes me as a bit of a shame. Well, when we both got some free time, maybe we can try messing around in the playground again.
それは本当ですか?
She's like, I genuinely really want that. Are you joking? Because I almost feel like she was like ashamed or like knows that it'd be kind of weird to ask to be able to go play on a playground as like, you know, young adults almost, like pretty much. But she's like, can we please? Yeah, I'm a little irritated I can't remember those days as well as you. Making some new memories strikes me as more productive than sulking about it.
2011年9月3日
Okay.
14時16分
Calm down. Mind telling me what you're writing down at the exact time all of a sudden? Am I under arrest?
今後私がユウくんを公園に誘っても断られないように
Oh my
証拠として
gosh.
記録しておくんです。
Sachi. I see. Very prudent. Seems you've got a good grasp on my personality.
自分が好きになった人のことですから。
Aww. She's like, I will hold him to this, and he will not be able to refute it. Well, so much for the last minute sorry too embarrassing escape route.
ユウくんとの公園デート、今からとても楽しみです。
Swinging her arms back and forth in evident good cheer, Sachi marches along at my side. Seeing this sincere smile on her face, I can feel my chest growing warm. Wonder if my master used to feel this way when I smiled at her. The thought brings a small, irrepressible smile to my own face. First things first. Let's grab that. Get that letter to the post office.
はい。
Sachi's cheerful mood would last an entire day and well into the night, right until the moment we fell asleep, nestled against the warmth of each other's bodies. And that's when the nightmares come in, right? Oh, his room now. Human beings are most vulnerable in moments of celebration. Growing up in a house where the thoughtless smile on my face could earn me a punch in the jaw, I figured that much out before I even graduated from elementary school. Probably because of that, I've always been pretty cautious about making my real feelings too obvious for others. And by the same token, I'm aware of associating carelessness with danger more strongly than most people, and make a conscious effort to stay alert, if not tense, at all times. But as I've just been reminded, true carelessness is something that can sneak up on you. The nastiest surprises always come when you don't even realize you've let down your guard. Oh gosh, what's gonna happen now? The nightmares. Jerked involuntarily out of a light sleep, I hear harsh, gasping breathing nearby. It doesn't take long for me to realize it's Sachi. I instantly reach over and shake her trembling body. Sachi, wake up, Sachi. When I call her name, her eyes slide open quickly enough. Sachi?
おはようございます。ゆうくん。
And a few moments later, she responds in a sluggish voice, a voice tinged with genuine exhaustion rather than typical morning lethargy. This has become a familiar pattern lately. Another bad dream?
そうみたいです。
Right. I was saying this last few times. It's like, unfortunately, when he unlocked her heart and gave her that freedom, it probably brought back what drove her into that pseudo-madness anyway. This was my point of carelessness, Sachi's nightmares. The first night I spent sharing a bed with Sachi became the first morning I saw her groaning in her sleep. Hardly a problem in itself, but since she's been having these nightmares practically every day. And with each passing morning, her suffering seems to be growing worse. When her squirming finally grows strong enough to rouse me, I quickly reach over and shake her awake. Recently, this has become almost routine. So this isn't sustainable either. But what do you do about this? Like, I feel like to really get to the bottom of it, her mom would have to be awake, and that's probably not possible. Sachi closes her eyes and waits motionlessly for her breathing to grow calm. Is your throat dry? Need something to drink?
はい、それは大丈夫です。
Slowly sliding off the bed onto her feet, she makes her way directly to my bathroom. This clear exhaustion after the fact is a recent development. At first, she'd quickly returned to normal, so energetic and cheerful that I'd all but forgotten about her tossing and turning. Because of that, I was slow to pick up on the fact that something was seriously wrong. But recently, her poor sleep has begun to take its toll. In the last few days, she's been noticeably absent-minded and inattentive, frequently spacing out at random moments.
顔を洗ったらすっきりしました。
Sachi returns from the bathroom a few minutes later, looking slightly more awake. Can you remember what the dream was about today?
はい。
Is she lying? Because I could see her not wanting to dwell on it. Or is she a lot of times you forget your dreams really quickly. And you can suffer from the effects of the dream without remembering them clearly. So it's very possible she's not lying at all. It's also possible there's a middle road where her brain is kind of trying to protect her right now in its own way still, where it's trying to block her memory of the dreams even if they're having an effect on her.
見たくない夢を見たという感覚はあるのですが、内容はよく覚えていません。
I see. This response is familiar as well. Sachi's aware of the nightmares, but so far she hasn't been able to remember the specific details after waking up.
それより、もうすぐゆうくんがランニングに出かける時間です。
Yeah, but...
私のことなら大丈夫です。ゆうくんはいつもの日課をこなしてください。
Sachi.
私はその間に朝ごはんを作ってお待ちしていますから。
That almost makes it worse. It makes it harder because she's so sweet. Alright. When Sachi's like this, the world's longest lever couldn't budge her. Trying to push the issue wouldn't be productive. Reluctantly, I leave my room and head off for my run. Nightmares, huh? Alone on the rooftop of the dorm, I mutter the word to myself. Sachi's gone out shopping for daily necessities. Finding myself with little free time on my hands, I wander up here to think things over. Mental exhaustion is a heck of a lot harder to deal with than that physical kind. It doesn't always show on the face. And it doesn't always have a clear option. I mean, heck, like that's what my dalliance with long COVID or whatever it was for like years was just fatigue. No matter how much I slept, I was always exhausted. If I did anything that required brain power or even like something as simple as walking down the street, like walk down the street and back, would be so exhausting. I'd collapse in the bed afterwards. It's just so much worse when it's mental exhaustion and physical exhaustion combined. It's really, really rough. That's kind of what it was. It was like it was weird because it was very clear I wasn't physically exerting myself to the point where I should feel that exhausted, which makes you think, oh, well, it must have been just a mental thing. But it wasn't. It wasn't following the tropes of things. Like when you have a major, maybe depressive episode or something, I talked to so many specialists about it, that when you suffer from like a major depressive episode, you can experience a lot of fatigue, but it is almost exclusively mental because your brain is overpressing itself and constantly obsessing over specific thoughts that you become just kind of flatlined mentally by everything. But there was a physical relationship to this too. It was my body was developing aches and pains. I would get sore. So like I would walk down the block, come back, and I would be sore for the next few days. My muscles reacting as if I'd been doing a heavy exercise. It's crazy. And so like this kind of stuff, you never know. Like whatever the source may be, anytime you're feeling exhaustion on that kind of like consistent level, it's going to be so invasive on your daily life. I can't even imagine. Actually, I can't imagine. And that's what makes it even harder. Sachi told me she was quite alright, and it didn't look like she was consciously telling a lie. But that just means the girl isn't fully aware of what these nightmares are doing to her. If anything, that makes the situation all the more troublesome. I need to take action quickly. Bad dreams occur more often when there's something weighing on your mind, and this constant barrage suggests Sachi is deeply troubled by something on a subconscious level. To resolve this cleanly, I'd need to identify the specific cause of those nightmares. But given that she can't provide me with any information on their content, I don't have many clues to work off. I'm not sure where to begin. I see you're burdened with great troubles as well, Machina. The heck? Rudely pulled out of my ruminations, I turned toward the unexpected interloper, Machina standing a few feet behind me with a crap-eating grin on her face. Yeah, synchronization rate approximately 2%, astounding in a way. Well, what are you doing up here? Uh-huh. Out of fact. What is that even supposed to be? I'm going to guess she means navel gazing? Not really, just thinking about something. Definitely a point of curiosity, but no. What makes you think that? I mean, she's got a point there. After arriving at this school, I've been thoroughly reminded that a woman's intuition can't be underestimated. Since I've run into something of a dead end here, maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea to try relying on that natural female perceptiveness. Machina, my friend, I have a favor to ask of you as a woman. Are you misunderstanding something here? Sorry to ruin that spectacular fantasy, but I'm not looking for anything with anyone other than Sachi.
だとしたら、私に独身術は早すぎたようなのよさ。
Yeah, definitely not. Okay, no matter how desperate I might be, turning to Machina for advice might have been a little rash. But then again, she's the same age as Sachi, and the two of them are very close. Sachi might spend more time with Michiru, but her relationship with Machina is more of a straightforward friendship. In other words, there's a decent chance the girl has information I need. Alright, Machina, allow me to rephrase that. I have a favor to ask of you as Sachi's best friend.
お？なんか急に顔がマジになってるけど、何が聞きたいの？
I need you to answer a serious question. Has Sachi talked to you about having nightmares recently? Not at any point since she transferred in?
悪夢？
Anything come to mind? Even just dreams in general? Try to remember.
サッチンとはいろんな話をしたけれど、そういえば夢の話はしたことがないのよさ。
Have you ever seen her groaning or thrashing about in her sleep then?
残念ながら、そういうところも見たことはないのよ。
I see.
あ、そういえば。
The hospital. That's right, they did see that. What? You remember something?
サッチンが行方不明になって病院に入院してた時、一度だけ夢を見てうなされていたことがあったのよ。
I'd kind of forgotten about that. Did she say anything in her sleep?
確か何度もごめんなさいって謝って、最後にお父さんお母さんって。
I see.
サッチン、どっか悪いの？
Apparently, my concern is pretty transparent. Machina peers up into my face with an anxious expression. She's just been having a lot of bad dreams lately, so I wanted to gather any information I could. It's nothing you need to worry about.
だったらいいのだけれど、もしサッチンに何かあっても、お兄ちゃんなら何とかしてくれるって私は信じてるのよ。
Yeah, leave it to me. I drop a hand on Machina's head and ruffle her hair around just a little in my usual way.
私はジュースを買ってザリガニに餌をあげてくるのよさ。
She still has that blue crawfish, huh? Her expression returning to a reassured smile, Machina shows me a jumble of coins in her hand, then trots back inside the dormitory. I'm sorry, and Mama and Daddy, huh? I had my suspicions, but those keywords make it pretty clear. The dreams have been connected to the accident that occurred on her birthday. Sachi decisively stated that she still loves her parents, despite the cold attitude towards her near the end. I'd taken that to mean Sachi had reached some sort of personal closure over what happened, but apparently that was wishful thinking on my part. And if Sachi's memories of the past are the cause of her current suffering, JB's executive summary isn't going to be enough. I'm going to need more detailed information about what happened back then.
下駄箱に靴があるのにどこにもいないと思ったら、こんなところにいたのね。
Oh, it's Chizuru.
もう、また年上の女性を呼び捨てにして。
Figured I could just keep saying it until you lose the energy to complain.
そんなことはありません。
Anyway, sounds like you were looking for me. What do you want? What do you need?
そうそう。あなたと話すときはいつも本題を忘れそうになるわ。
Yeah, that's both of our faults. Grumbling pointlessly in her usual manner, Chizuru takes out a thick envelope from under her arm and offers it to me. What's this?
あなた宛ての荷物よ。
Okay, but from who? A delivery? What, from Ichigaya?
それは差出人を見ればわかると思うわ。
I silently accept the envelope and look for the sender's name in the corner of the label. Komine Akihiro. Komine, is this?
ええ。秋広さんは小峰さんの保護者であり、俗柄的には小峰さんのおじさんにあたる人よ。
Interesting. Maybe we'll get a clue here. Because it's from her adoptive family. Why would Sachi's uncle send me a package? What's in this thing?
それは私にもわからないわ。私はただそれを風見くんに渡して伝言を伝えてほしいと頼まれただけだから。
Uh-oh. A message?
ええ。 荷物のことで話したいことがあるから、もしよければ電話をかけてほしいって。
Sends a package to someone he's never met, and now he wants a phone call too? I don't get it.
え？あなたと小峰さんは小さい頃に会っていたから、幼い頃に面識があったんじゃなかったの？
No, it seems like this is like an automated response from the uncle after receiving the letter that she found him and that they're happy. And the uncle's like trying to help or give critical information. Something that he feel like, it almost feels like he's been preparing for this for when Sachi maybe found somebody, right? No, I never went to Sachi's house. Didn't even meet her parents, let alone her uncle.
そう。だとしたら確かに変な話ね。
Yeah. In the first place, how does this man even know I exist? Oh, wait, that's right. I do have an idea why this might be about.
何かあったの？
Yeah, Sachi just recently sent her family a letter about how things are going. Said she was mentioning me.
なるほど。それで風見くんの名前を知って、あなたと話をしてみたくなったという可能性はあるかもしれないわね。
As her pseudo-father, yeah, that would make sense. But what's with the envelope? Maybe, but even if he knows who I am for the letter, I don't understand why he'd suddenly send a package directly to me. If Sachi told him a little more than she should have, there's always the possibility he might be looking to give me a stern parental talking to. In any case, since I'm currently in need of detailed information regarding Sachi's past, this is a convenient coincidence.
どうする？あなたにその気があるなら、預かっている番号を教えるけど。
Alright, yeah, I'll give him a call. Okay. I think we're going to save this for later, because I have a feeling this is going to be a bit of a bombshell. So, I think this is a decent place to stop. It's not perfect, but I also don't want to rush to the ending. I'm really enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun. And I know it's almost over, and I think part of me is, like, resistant to that. I think I am kind of avoiding the end. And I've also just been really enjoying, like, the other routes, and I'm pretty much done with those now. So, I'm not too worried about, like, falling behind or anything. No, I actually had to slow that down, because I kind of didn't want to finish the Yumiko route before I finish this. So, I guess I'm just in almost like at a state of grieving. I also like got scared because I feel like it's about to take another like really dark turn, and I'm like, we're just having fun, right? It's all happy, right? It's not gonna go terribly wrong and make my heart like want to die inside. I hope it'll be okay. I'm sure it will, but this story gets intense. Like all the stories have their moments where it just gets real intense, and I feel like we had that, but I feel like if it's got more for me, my poor heart, I just don't know if I'm ready today. So I don't want to blunder into anything more. It goes to show you, though, how much this story has started meaning to me. It's becoming almost too real, too personal. I'm having a lot of fun, though. Thank you for joining me today, and thanks for joining me for this series. It's gonna be something else when this one's gone. Bittersweet, you know? I'm really happy because there's so many other good stories we need to launch into. So many other amazing things to be able to share and enjoy. Great stories to visit. But yeah, it's always hard when I know that the inevitable end is coming to one that's, especially one that's made such a big impact. So, I don't know, it's very weird. I'm in a weird mood right now. I don't know what's up. Maybe I need to, like, do some other stuff today. Maybe there's stuff on my mind I need to, like, work out that's not related to this, but is somehow still related to this. But thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. I hope you don't mind. If you haven't, I'd highly recommend checking out the Baldur's Gate 3 video that came out this week. It really is, it was weird because those videos, like, I don't expect great things from my videos, but that video really underperformed right at the beginning, and it probably still is. Really inconsistent because the other episodes really did pretty well, so I'm not sure what the difference is, but I mean, ultimately it doesn't matter. I had a blast making it, and that's really what matters, is making content I'm really happy with and proud of. So if that was a series you were interested in, I highly recommend checking it out. It was really fun. But I also get it if that's not for your thing. Visual novels might be the big thing you're here for. I totally get that. Anyway, otherwise, I'm happy you're here. Thank you for your support. It means the world to me. And thank you so much for being a part of a good community that just always makes my day. It's really fun being able to like share these stories with you and just hear your thoughts and how much you care and love. And it's funny because like this is a very good kind of feeling episode, but I imagine there might not be a lot for you all to say because you're probably just waiting for the shoe to drop that's going to probably be next episode. So yeah, sorry to make you wait, but I still feel like this is a good place to end for today. So guess I'll just buckle up for next week, and then, we'll continue jumping through all the other good stories we're covering. So hopefully you'll enjoy those as well. Thank you to the patrons and members for making it possible for me to pursue this so much more aggressively and for being so supportive. Things are going to change in the next few weeks, and that's okay. I don't anticipate it'll affect things too adversely on the channel, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, thank you for being here, and thanks for joining me for all of this. And until next video watching me, I'll see you next. I'll see you there.